Okay, so let me show you how to record a video in Camtasia and edit the video from start to finish all the way up to sharing it or exporting it in a format that you can upload into YouTube, Facebook, or whatever system you're using. First thing you want to do is when you first open Camtasia, you're going to click on the File menu and click on New Project. You're going to start a brand new project untitled. It's not saved yet. You can get started by saving it in the desktop or something like that. So I'm going to click on File, Save As, and I'm going to call this New Video. And I'm going to save it on the desktop or anywhere that I will know how to find it later on. So I got my project started and it's saved in my computer somewhere. Next thing I want to do is I want to do some screen capture or bring some images from outside. If I happen to already have video pre-recorded on my phone or maybe on some other device, I would click on Import Media and I will look for a video somewhere in my computer to then import it. So let's say, for example, I want to bring this video here, click Import. That will bring the media or the actual video file. Then I will click and drag and bring it down here to the bottom where my tracks are. So I would drop it anywhere there, and then my video will now be dropped in there. Now I don't want to use the video that I have here of my kids. So let me right click here and delete. I actually want to do a screen capture, but I wanted to show you how you bring a video you already recorded with some other device. So I'm going to click on the record button, and then the recorder should pop up. And then once the recorder pop up, what I can do is I can now give it instructions or what is it that I'm trying to do with it. So number one, the first box here, this is going to ask me which screen do you want to capture. So I actually want to capture screen 1, which would be, like in this case, would be the screen on my laptop. And then screen 2 would be the extended monitor that's hooked up to my laptop. Now I can do dual screen recording, so I can only choose one of the two. So I would choose that one I'm going to record, and you can see a quick preview here of what that looks like. I'm going to launch my PowerPoint so you can actually start seeing the preview pretty soon here on the screen when it comes up. So you're going to be able to see that what came up on the previous screen. Then the second box here allows me to choose which webcam I'm going to use. So I actually happen to have two webcams. So actually I can switch back and forth which webcam I want to use. And then the box number 3 in this case is my microphone. So I click on the drop down menu and I choose which of the microphones that is hooked up to my computer I will be using, and then system audio, that's if I want to record the audio that outputs from my computer. So I got first screen would be the screen share, exactly what is it that I'm trying to record, and then the second one is the webcam, third one is going to be the microphone, and I can turn off and on any of these as I please. And then I click on start recording, and that will start the screen recording. Okay, so now I have the track that I pre-recorded. You're going to see here at the bottom two tracks. You're going to see the track here on the top, which is a webcam track and the audio. And then you're going to see the track in the bottom, which is actually the screen share, whatever was on my screen. So this is a video that was about 34 minutes long. And I do have to make some cuts. So I'm going to show you how to make some cuts and edits. So let me zoom in a little bit here. Let me go all the way to the beginning here. And then somewhere around here, I repeated what I was saying. So I'm going to hit play for a second. And QuickBooks Consultant. Do customers... Okay, so at that point, I had repeated what I said in the intro. So I'm going to put my cursor somewhere here, right where you see the audio start to increase, because that's really what I stopped talking and then I repeated what I was going to say. Select both tracks because I'm gonna cut them, and then I can click on the edit menu and click on split. On the Mac is Command T or is Control T on the PC. So I'm gonna select them and then split it, and that cuts it into two pieces. You see that right there, two pieces. And I'm gonna select the first two, and then I'm gonna right click and delete. So I actually don't need that. Then I'm going to select both of the tracks that are remaining and bring it all the way to the left. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a transition here of maybe a fade, right? So I want to fade from nothing to, from black into the image. So I'm going to go, I'm going to click here on fade, and I'm going to bring and drag this down here. And I'm gonna grab fade and bring it down in here. So when I hit play, right, so that's a sort of smooth transition. I mean, I can extend this transition like this of the webcam. So we get basically a fast transition of the first slide, and then my webcam takes a while to show. So let's just play to see what that looks like. Do customers value our work? Part 2. So you see that very slow sort of transition to the webcam. So obviously that's not optimal. So maybe I want to do a slower. Let me extend the slide in the bottom, and I'm going to shorten the webcam. So I'm actually going to zoom in, and I'm going to make the webcam, let me scroll here to the left. I want to make the webcam sort of fade in faster than the slides and see what that looks like. Do customers value our work? Okay, I guess that's fine. The other thing I can do is I can select here and I can move around that webcam. So I'm going to put it on the, let me zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to put it here on the bottom. I'm going to put it on the top left, make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I could also crop, right? So I can also crop this and make it a little bit smaller if I want to, and I should. So I really only want to show my face here, and then drag to the top and then make it a little bit bigger. Let me undo the crop, click on the little arrow there so that I can expand it. Okay, I think that's good. Let me hit play, see what that looks like. Do customers value our work? Part 2. Another conversation with... Okay, I like that. Let me scroll a little bit forward to see what my slides look like. I want to make sure I don't cover any really important text. So let me zoom out here and just scrub through here to see if, oh yeah. So that's gonna cut some of my text. So I'm gonna make this web camera much smaller. Let me just make it as small as possible. Let me crop a little bit more. Okay, people really don't care about having my big face there anyway. So we really don't need to have my webcam cover so much of it. I like the webcam because watching the person talk, it makes it a little bit more personable. But we have to be careful with how much real estate that takes. So I think that's okay. That didn't take that much. So let me zoom out. And I'm going to do a fade out towards the end. So let me zoom all the way out here and see how the end it's looking. Let me zoom back in. Okay, and I'm going to just do a fade out somewhere here. Let me hit play. That experience for it to become transformative, for it to become a message of transportation, or for you to become a coach of that transformation. So that was part 2. So that was part 2 of the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. So notice I said part 2 twice. So I'm gonna cut it up a little bit just to show you that piece. So let me hit play again. So that was part 2. Okay, so that's where I messed up somewhere. So I'm gonna select these two, hit Control T, cut that, and then come back here somewhere. Select the 2 tracks, Control T, cut that too. I'm gonna delete those 2 in the middle. Then I'm gonna grab the remaining cuts, bring it to the left. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, because what I'm going to do is I'm now going to see what that looks like after I cut it. So let me hit play. Okay, that's not bad. So let me, I'm also going to cut here towards the end. Control T or Command T on the Mac. And then let me do a fade through black towards the end and a fade through black towards the end. Hit play one more time, see what that looks like. Of transportation, or for you to become a coach of that transformation. So that was part 2 of the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Okay, that's good. Fade out. Okay, so let me zoom back out and let's add a text. So let me go to annotation, and I'm going to grab any of these texts and drag it up here to the top. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to make sure that this box covers the entire video, because I actually want to put my email on the bottom of that email as a sort of as a footer, just fixed sitting there. So I'm going to double click here on the text and I'll type my email, hector@garciacpa.com. Perfect. I may want to maybe make that text a little bit bigger. Okay, and I want to drag it and put it on the bottom right. So that's my thing. I like putting my email on all my videos. Doesn't mean you have to do it. I just like doing that. Now, if you select on that text and you click on properties here on the right, I can change the font or change the size. Right, so that's really up to you. Underline, whatever you want to do with that email. I'm gonna put it here in the bottom right. Then I'm just gonna scroll. Yeah, that's good. I think I'm pretty good with that. So once my video is pretty much done, I got my my intro fade, I got my outro fade, I have my email, I have my webcam. I want to make the webcam a little bit bigger, just in case. Let's make that a little bit bigger. No, I'm gonna undo. I'll leave it like that. Okay, so that's good. I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Then to save this and to be able to use this in YouTube or Facebook or something like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the right where it says share, and then I can do a couple things. I can go straight to YouTube or screencast by putting my username and password, but I personally like just clicking on local file and then creating the MP4 file right there in my computer. So I'm going to click on options, and then I can pick a couple of options here like a frame rate or dimensions. I usually like doing things at 1920 by 1080. That's my favorite one. And then we can do it at 30 frames or 25 frames. I mean, for computer based tutorials, I'll do 30, and then where it says keyframe rate, I'll also do 30. So everything else I do automatic, fit within size. I just don't touch anything else there. Click on OK, and then I give this a video. Let's call this what do we call this video? Let's call it do customers value our work part 2, and then I click on export, and then I wait like 10 or 15 minutes, however long it takes for it to fully export, and then I'm going to upload it into YouTube afterwards.